Unfortunately for Stoney and Jamie, we have to talk about that radio program because I have been told we have audio of Mike Stone showing actual passion on the radio, something we don't get daily from him. So this is big. This is big. Oh, well, Stoney's become very calm of late, very docile. Sully, do you want to just play this? I haven't had a chance to hear this. I've been told that this is interesting and relevant to rivalry discussion before we get into the Lions at 3 o'clock.
Why Michigan fans, they refuse to realize what the hell's going on here? It sucks. If you're a Michigan fan, and I'm a Michigan fan, that 8 out of 10 years, Michigan State has won. It's like I get texts from people, why don't you give Michigan State credit? Why are you focusing on one Michigan? How come, Desmond Howard and all that stuff? Who cares what he thinks? Who cares what these former players think, that, the arrogance, the stuff Braylon Edwards would say? Why do you care? You've kicked Michigan's ass 8 out of the last 10 years. You own them. Who cares what Michigan fan thinks? Why does it bother you? I don't understand why Valenti even cares what Michigan fan, because he said he doesn't care, but he does care. Why do you care? Who cares? Why do you care? You won. You win every year, it seems. Shouldn't that be enough, Jamie? Shouldn't that be enough?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I like snorting cocaine.
Indeed. Oh, my goodness. What a sad old man.
Who cares?
All right. Let me teach Stoney why people care. Well, first of all, what Stoney's asking for is to essentially have every dumb, arrogant thing he's ever said forgotten and expunged from the record. Second of all, Braylon Edwards and Mike Stone and any other Michigan sycophant, Desmond Howard, they're not just fans. They have a platform. We have a platform. And when Braylon goes on 97.1 or Desmond goes on ESPN or Mike Stone goes on his morning program, you have a platform. And when you go out and you sell a narrative and when you openly disrespect people, don't be surprised if those people come for you when you're proven wrong and they demand something from you. See, the problem is no Spartan I know cares. We don't care. I had a love letter to Desmond Howard yesterday. I thought him making a fool of himself on television and knowing that his comments ended up in our locker room, that made me feel good. Braylon's comments I was only upset at because Braylon appears here on Thursdays, and I thought his commentary was completely inappropriate, completely out of line, completely out of touch, and completely ridiculous. More on that Thursday. But for Stoney to go on the air and act as if State fans are walking the streets begging for Mike Stone's approval or begging for Desmond Howard to genuflect, I think Mike may have been hanging out with the Dolphins O-line coach a little too much. There's no one asking for that, Mike. No one needs it. But don't think for a second that there's not a big difference between needing it and then pointing out people who act like asses. There's a big difference. 8 out of 10 is good enough. In fact, it's great. And watching old Michigan fan guy like Mike Stone break on the air, it's delicious. Nobody needs any of you. You, Braylon, Desmond, Deerdorf, Poopsie, Brandstad. We don't need any of your approval. But watching you break and watching you sell a narrative or act as victims when people come calling for you, well, I'm sorry, but you've done this to yourselves. I'd like to throw the number out because here's the deal. A, I don't think there's a great amount of Spartan fans or any rational ones who need anything from a Michigan fan right now. But I believe the term is schadenfreude. Is that what it is? Schadenfreude or whatever it is? We're just enjoying the deconstruction of your mental state. 8 out of 10 has broken you because you've run out of excuses. You've run out of rationalizations. So when I hear the audio from Mike or Dez or Bray, I mean, it's great for me. It's awesome. 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6 years ago, you want to say we want a little validation? Sure. But we got our validation. Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl, playoff, top 5 finishes, Big Ten titles multiply, and kicking your skull in. That's the validation we seeked. Now your words don't mean anything. But when you listen to Stoney right there, you tell me, is his description of where we're at with Michigan and Michigan State accurate? 248-539-9797. Spartans looking for this faux validation? I don't see it. Wolverines who don't understand why they're being made fun of right now? Oh, you understand. You've done a lot of talking over the years. Take the medicine. I did it when my team was bad. Just take it. Ticket text 97136. Sully, are you awake this week? I feel like you're not a participant on the program. You're staring into space.
Oh, stop.
David's wearing sunglasses for no reason.
No, I was just in deep thought, actually, about this.
Deep thought?
And I was trying to just think about this level of stuff that Stoney was saying and whatnot.
Sorry, I assumed the Penn State-Michigan game was a night game.
He's unstable.
But it's like when I look at Michigan State fans at times, and rightfully so, have clearly felt disrespected, which is a difference. They felt disrespected. They have felt disrespected by the D'Antonio stuff in ESPN, by the little brother comments, obviously. But I think there's a difference between feeling disrespected and actually begging for attention. I don't know if Michigan State fans are necessarily begging to be credited, begging for attention. But, Mike, I do think that there's that element of Michigan State fans that do feel disrespected by all of this. Now, are they going out and like I said, begging for attention and begging to be talked about? Not really. Not that I see.
No, it's just Stoney spinning another narrative, acting as if Spartans are groveling, waiting for the pontiff of morning radio, the godfather of radio, to bless them with what? We don't need anything.
You'd agree, though, that Michigan State does feel and has in the past felt disrespected.
Of course, and they have been.
Right.
And we've taken that by force. But in the meantime, look, understand, I mean, when you go out, and whether it's me or anybody else, if you go out and you say stuff and it's like a terrible take, or it's just like you sound dumb, like people are going to blast you. It happens. Like what? There's nothing you can do about it. Like, I don't know what Stoney's looking for there. And I think he's painting an inaccurate picture of reality. I wish I could have heard Jamie's response to that. Was Jamie even there?
The montage we put together was just Stoney. Just kind of summed it up. We can look back at the other audio.
What did Bub Dillican have to say about all of this?
He wasn't on that part, I don't think.
Oh, okay, great. So it was Stoney bouncing off the walls.
Stoney went on a rant, and a passion rant.
I just don't think it made a whole lot of sense. Frankly, I'm worried about the guy. 248-539-9797. I just think Stoney sounds like he's kind of crying, frankly. He's accusing others of crying that don't exist. It's almost like an old man who's seeing ghosts.